Welcome back to These Guys Again, or TGA, a film podcast where every week we gather around and discuss film and everything to do with it. I am Craig. With me is Gary.
Hello.
Mark. And Irv.
Hola.
Tom is usually with us, but he could not make it today due to working. So we will carry on with Gary in his absence. You got to try and be more English. You can't do an impression, can you?
Good try. Not the spot.
Sorry. Okay, no.
We can re-welcome Gary from the Deadpool mini-cast we did as well.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mark, where can people find us?
Online.
Good answer.
BandCamp, These Guys Again.
Yeah,
podcast.
these guys again. .bandcamp.com, and also iTunes, YouTube.
And iTunes.
Just search These Guys Again. I'm sure you'll find us. We're on Facebook.
We've dominated the mind share.
I hate that word.
I know, I want to bring it back.
Yeah, so
we'll go right into the news. Mark?
So it's been a couple of weeks since we've done this, but there's a few things in news to get through, the interesting things that have cropped up. Fox have done a bit of reshuffling with release dates and things. Gambit has been pushed back. I mean, it was set for an October of this year release, but it's now been pushed back to unconfirmed because it's still kind of in a bit of a development hell. I mean, it's still got Channing Tatum attached and things like that, but there's still no production actually started.
Is there director for it?
I think it's changing.
It's a shame. It kept on jumping about.
I feel like Tatum could easily drop off because he's already almost done it once.
Yeah, there is a director. So I don't think he will drop off though, because it is moving forward. It's just needs a bit more.
Slow, yeah.
Because Rupert Wyatt was originally going to be directing, but he left in September, and Doug Liman came aboard in November.
I'm trying to remember. Was Wyatt? Was he the one that did Dawn of the Planet of the Apes?
I think so. Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
But because the new director only came on board in November.
Yeah,
getting a film out in 11 months is not really possible, especially one of this kind of scale. So I mean, it's just a bit of housekeeping.
Especially if there's no script or anything, or
there's a script.
Okay.
No, it's ready to begin production. It's just not.
Yeah,
it's just not in production.
I mean, there is a script that might be going through redrafts and stuff because Channing Tatum's been quite involved in getting it going.
Yeah.
What is he a producer?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's that.
Just him and Donner, Lauren
Schuler Donner.
Yeah.
She's part of all that stuff. To be honest,
so I don't see Tatum dropping off it because he's wanted to do it for a while. He wanted to drop off because they were going to cancel it and turn it into he was going to be attached to like a Wolverine film or something. And he was like, well, I don't want to do that. I want a Gambit film.
Yeah.
Doug Liman's been involved in quite a lot of different films, some good, some not so good. I just looked up Live on the Edge, The Bourne Identity, Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad.
Jumper.
I like Jumper. I don't like
is that
Christian Haydenson.
I actually quite like that.
I like the film.
Hayden Christensen.
Did I actually just say that?
Yeah.
Christian Haydenson.
Good spot, Gary.
I was about to say he's probably the evil twin from the other dimension, but the only thing is, it's like, is he or is he the good one?
No,
in terms of acting talent, I think Christian Haydenson must be better. Like,
in the parallel universe, it was when the prequels were really good, and he
won an Oscar for it.
He won the Oscar for his portrayal of Darth Vader.
The prequels were never made because the originals were so bad.
Yeah, exactly. He also did The Killing Floor and Everest.
Everest was terrible.
Woo! Gambit.
Killing Floor was alright. If that's the film I'm thinking of. Anyway, moving on.
The news.
Continuing with this release reshuffling. So the sequel to Prometheus, Alien Covenant, has now moved forward to August 2017. So
have they changed the name again yet?
No, they're sticking with Alien Covenant because
for
it's now
Covenant Aliens.
It's properly in production now. It's being filmed. The reason it's changed names is because the script idea has changed and they're not going. It's changed so much that they're not specifically going to the engineers from world.
Is it even Prometheus 2 at this point?
No, it's Alien.
Yeah. That's the thing. I like because they've already said that Noomi Rapace
Rapace has dropped out, but Fassbender as David is still in it.
Is he still in it?
Yeah, okay. But he was not, like I said, not necessarily the same David. It could be another David.
He's the production He's the production model.
Yeah, so it's still set in the same universe. It's not a direct sequel to Prometheus anymore, as in it's not following on with Noomi going to find the engineer's planet. But I imagine that storyline will be picked up in some shape or form, because there was the comic series as well. They did an Alien, Prometheus, and a Predator comic series that all related together. Which kind of expanded on the idea of what the engineers were. So it's going to still feature the engineers, but it's also going to feature the full slog of the alien life cycle.
They're sort of boring, just giant people. It's like,
I really like Prometheus.
I like Prometheus.
You. Although I will say that one of my saddest cinema moments was coming out of Prometheus with Mark after seeing it, because you didn't like it when you came out.
Terrible script.
You didn't like it when you came out, and it was such a shame because Mark had been watching the trailer every day. His background was Prometheus. Probably got a Prometheus tattoo of some kind that we still don't know about.
Wrong podcast.
No, I'm just saying in general, like, you were obsessed with Prometheus, and then you went to see it and it wasn't everything you hoped it would be. And you were just kind of, it was one of those things where he was broken. He was smiling, but he was like, I'm not sure. And I was like, oh, Mark.
Damn Lindelof. Just the script was just
Do you remember what I said? It's like, I don't know what's up with the plot of it. Like, the script, it was like the guy from Lost wrote it, and he went, the guy from Lost did write it. And I went, well, that makes perfect sense.
I still love the idea of the film.
the design.
Visually,
Visually, it's fantastic. It's a triumphant return to sci-fi for Ridley Scott, in my opinion. I mean, the direction and the character focus is great. It's just the script is dire.
Just remember, it's one planet over.
One moon over.
But you know what I mean, isn't it?
It's not LV-46.
It's not the same. It's
LV,
just very similar.
It's LV-223.
I was thinking about running away from the giant donut, and then I just remembered, I've got donuts at home tonight. Thanks, Prometheus.
But I mean, like, great cast as well. Charlize Theron and Idris Elba, Fassbender, Numi, all brilliant.
Oh yeah, and
Anyway,
Guy Pearce as well.
The Guy Pearce, old man Pierce.
Yeah.
We're talking too much about Prometheus. The main point I'm trying to say is Alien Covenant is now going to be essentially a summer blockbuster. It's not a backwards release coming out in because Prometheus was Christmas time, I think, or early year.
Hopefully, we'll get news about Blomkamp's one as well.
There's lots up in the air about that.
I know it's been kind of, but I mean, there's at least an update if it's going to go ahead.
Well, there's a lot of rumors going around now that Alien Covenant, like Alien 5, was a cover for Alien Covenant.
Okay.
That it's going to be Neil Blomkamp's script essentially picked up by Ridley and bringing back Sigourney and Michael Biehn, and then connecting what because Prometheus was supposed to be an Alien prequel. It's not. It's just it's a spiritual, like,
it's in the universe.
It's in the universe. It's the idea of, and you see the engineers, which is what you think created the alien. I mean, we still don't know about that. But what's coming now is a actual alien film. Alien 5 has been shelved, but is Alien 5 just what Alien Covenant's going to be?
Hopefully we get answers at least to see where these lie.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we will, but I'm excited for it. But that's August 4th, 2017, so it's coming out as a proper summer blockbuster film. It also keeps it away from things like Episode 8.
An Avatar, eventually.
Well, and also Predator 4, just known as The Predator, directed by Shane Black, has got a release date of March 2nd, 2018, which is going up against a unconfirmed Warner Bros. DC film, probably The Flash. But Predator 4, probably following on from the events of Predator 1, because Arnie's now tipped to be in it, which is interesting.
Plus Predators as well. It doesn't really.
Predators is just. It's a great film. It's just completely separate.
Yeah, exactly. It's a spin-off essentially.
Yeah.
They've got dogs in it for dogs.
Yeah, true.
But obviously, with Arnie's age, it's going to be set a long time after Predator. But then the events of Predator 2 might come into it. Who knows? But because AVP 1 and 2 they don't exist.
They don't exist anymore.
They're not part of the timeline.
That's a terrible shame.
I love them. But that's just me. So, continuing on. Production of Power Rangers has officially commenced.
Banks.
Production filming in Vancouver just now, and it's scheduled to hit theaters in March 24th, 2017.
It's really not that long when you think about it.
I keep thinking it's like 2 or 3 years ago, but it's like next year.
Yeah, it's just a year away now.
Right. Especially since films now do announce a release. The announced release date could be years away. We're getting such a massive window. It's not when you hear the trailer now is when you know these films are coming.
Yeah, well, that's the problem because we've got all these franchises.
So there has to be a big window that they have to tie into.
After years of speculation surrounding the adaptation of his magnum opus, The Dark Tower, Stephen King has now confirmed that it's going ahead with Idris Elba and Matthew McConaughey playing the lead roles.
But they're not good actors.
What have they won?
So the Dark Tower has spanned 8 novels as well as many comics and other iterations.
That was
of
a
it.
huge Marvel release
Yeah.
at one point. The Dark Tower particularly was really big.
And so the plot will follow the lines of The Gunslinger, which is the 1982 novel which started the series.
Gunslinger Born, yeah.
The Venom Marvel character Venom film has been revived. Obviously, it was in development before around the time of Amazing Spider-Man 2 when they were going for their whole Spider-Man expanded universe, but all that got cancelled with it not doing so well.
Yeah.
But the film has been revived, and it will be a standalone movie not connected to the Spider-Man
I'm
universe.
not sure if that's a good
It's
move.
weird. Yeah.
It's weird. That doesn't mean Spider-Man won't be in it. That just means that it's not.
But that's how
Origins with Peter Parker, yeah.
that's how you confuse the general public, though.
Yeah.
I know, but it's,
And confuse the fans.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're gonna
Yeah.
if you're gonna have Spider-Man in Civil War and getting his own film at some point as well,
That's
and
linked to
then-
both
and then-
Marvel and Fox.
and then Sony,
Sorry, no,
Sony,
yeah,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
Sony. Like,
yeah,
Fox
and then,
is completely separate.
and then
Yeah.
Sony doing this Venom film. It, like you said, it can get a bit.
messy.
Or also, if they're trying to set up something, if they're going to do their villain first and then bring in Spider-Man later with a Spider-Man film,
the
Or
thing
they
is,
could, they could
Venom's
link into
gone-
their X-Men universe.
or if they're
but-
doing Agent Venom,
But no,
or
they
who
won't link
knows.
it to X-Men because Sony are in bed with Marvel now and
Yeah,
Fox, and
yeah.
they're staying
Yeah.
away from that as much as they can.
True.
Even though they keep screwing up their franchises, but with the success of Deadpool and
Yeah,
the way X-Men,
We've got to wait and see how Apocalypse
Does,
works.
yeah.
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 But I don't know what they're planning with the Venom film. It's just an announcement at the moment. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Venom's such a diverse character that spans so many different versions. It
Yeah.
could be anything. Could be Venom in space.
He's not. Yeah, again as well. Now he's not even in the comics. He's not even simply a Spider-Man.
No, he's a Guardian of the Galaxy.
He's but that's the thing. It's hero villain. Even when he's a villain or a hero, he fills in different roles in so many different parts.
Yeah.
It's,
That's what I'm saying. Such a diverse character.
Same all the teams he's on as well.
Yeah.
Well, he's part of Guardians of the Galaxy. Well,
Yeah.
not Guardians of the Galaxy. Whatever they're called, the Guardians of.
nowhere.
No, that's gone.
No,
now.
that's changed now.
But he's in the Guardians of the Galaxy universe because Flash Gordon's gone into space.
Flash Gordon, Flash Thompson.
I know. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is out of Neil Gaiman's Sandman film.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's went to New Line, hasn't it? Yeah.
This is another one of those properties that I expect a lot to come from, but they just get. It's like that. It's like what happened with
Just
Ghost in the
been in-
Shell before. It's like what
yeah.
happened with Akira.
Yeah.
It's these things that you hear announced, but you hear no information for ages,
Yeah,
and then they
there's still no real information for it.
Well, he's
Just been
released a
in development
statement.
for-
He released a statement saying
Yeah.
that his vision didn't line up with
Yeah.
is it New Line.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, he said his vision didn't line up with New Line. So
Some minor details from the director of the new Tomb Raider film have come out, saying the focus of it will be more along the style of the newer games.
Good.
And Daisy Ridley is being eyed to play Lara Croft
Yeah.
to
Awesome.
bring a bit more character to the character.
well, they've said that as well. They want to focus on making her a character and actually having a proper arc and
Yeah.
flesh out the actual role. But yeah, Gary, you're a huge Tomb Raider fan, so
Daisy Ridley, fantastic choice, and I really hope.
And you're a
she-
minor Star Wars fan.
just a minor one, nothing major.
She's also British, so it works.
Yeah, so British.
There we go! It worked!
Tom. I close my eyes and it's like he's here.
Get me a crumpet and scones, please.
Disney has announced a new series based on Big Hero 6, set to premiere in 2017 on the Disney XD platform. The show will apparently pick up where the movie left off, focusing on Hero and Baymax and the rest of the gang.
That wacky group.
Love that film.
Seth Rogen and his creative partner Evan Goldberg are set to produce a live-action film of Where's Wally?
So they're not doing
Yeah.
Your Highness 2.
No,
That makes me sad.
or Where's Waldo to our US
Oh
friend?
no.
Will they release it here as Where's Wally?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
No, I think it's going to be released everywhere as Where's Wally, because that's what...
What came
They're-
first? Is it Wally or is it
Wally.
Waldo?
It was
Wally.
Wally.
Yeah, Wald. Yeah.
Because there's Wally, and then there's the yellow and black one, which is Oddlaw.
Yeah,
Oddlaw,
And then
yeah.
that became Waldo.
Okay.
Because
And then we got
This is-
Wally. Eva.
Great film.
So good.
here's an interesting thing. The founder of Napster has released plans plans, in inverted commas, to screen movies at home on the day they released in cinemas. So the idea, called Screening Room, by Sean Parker, could end the theatrical window by offering new films apparently around $50 a pop. On the day that they come out,
the day they release,
so you can stream them at home. And the idea of that being so expensive is to cover some of the losses that
The theaters
will be will be making. But I don't think it's a bad idea. It's got a lot of support from Universal, Fox, and Sony. A lot of positive ideas to this, because personally, I still got the cinema. I mean, I go and see things in the cinema.
Yeah, this year has been a huge one for me. Going back to cinema.
For a lot of people who don't go to the cinema and like watching things at home, and money's not an issue, this could be a great way of getting more money in. And if you've got 4 or 5 friends who want to watch this film, come over to me. I've got a big TV and surround sound. I can watch it there.
It's everyone chips in as well.
It's like a sports pay-per-view thing.
It's exactly. It's no more expensive than
we send 50 quid a pop. Get 5 friends around.
Skybox Office. Back in the day,
Well, if it's $50, it's more like going to be 20 quid.
35 quid or
20,
so.
30 quid,
It's not as good as you'd hope. 35 quid.
So it's kind of like it's essentially what like boxing does.
It's an interesting
marquee
idea.
events, like sporting events.
The main issue around it is piracy, though, and keeping it secure, because a lot of things don't leak onto to piracy sites until you're getting close to DVD and Blu-ray cut releases. So it would make it a lot easier to record and upload these
screen
things.
capture stuff.
But again, it's the same thing in that people who are going to pirate are going to pirate anyway. And if you're going to go see it in the cinema,
find a
you're
way.
not stopping us.
Well, it's more the fact that people who pirate films don't go and necessarily buy films or don't go and watch films in the cinema. So it's just another way. Sure, it's another way for them to get the film out early, but that's not going to stop people from actually going to the cinema if they want to see it in the cinema.
Because it's also like there's so much folk as well who like love films, but they just hate the cinema. Because it's like, you've got folk who are really noisy, or just the whole experience in it would be a good way of...
For all those loners out there who are like, I want to experience the cinema in isolation.
That's a great selling point, though. It's just like just having it like all your friends round, and then that's it. Mad fights, lads. Home cinema, lads.
So it's an interesting idea that hopefully will come off. Justice League has added J.K. Simmons as Commissioner Gordon.
Awesome. What great casting.
Yeah, great casting.
Where's my pictures of Batman?
How are you doing the casting? I don't know. Who's got an Oscar? Let's go down the list.
And in similar news, Ben Affleck, talking to Entertainment Weekly, I think recently, confirmed that Robin is dead in Batman vs Superman.
So which Robin?
Which is not a particular surprise.
No,
to be honest.
it's because it's.
But just be like casual viewers, like, what?
That'll be just
Killed a child?
And he's also said that there is a solo Batman film in development. It's got startings of a script, and obviously he's going to be Batman. But this
was already announced in their title.
But the main question is, will he direct? And he kind of dodged the question by saying he likes to focus on one project at a time. So he's obviously working on something else just now, but he could direct it, which could be really interesting. It could be.
I'm sure that was an announcement, like he was going to direct.
There was never actually announced. I mean, people just assumed. Amazon has ordered a pilot for a new Tick series with for production of a full series if it goes well, which would be interesting. Completely unrelated to the original series, different cast and different ideas, but it's a shame. But Tick's great.
It'd be great if this is like Amazon's answer to like Marvel's Netflix things. Who are we going to get?
Tick.
And Tim Burton has confirmed that Beetlejuice 2 is in development, and that both Michael Keaton and Winona Ryder are returning.
Crazy Keaton.
And it'll be like every other Tim Burton film.
But still, that's nice.
More Keaton.
Everyone loves Keaton.
So in a similar vein to Previs Action, which I found a few weeks ago, I found another small fan-made film, low-budget film. It's absolutely fantastic.
Very, very good.
Is that right?
Haven't seen it.
Darth Maul Apprentice. It's a fan-made film that just focuses literally on Darth Maul. before episode 1.
Yeah.
When he's still an apprentice, obviously.
And you got Palpatine.
You got Palpatine cropping up in it. And
Good old Palps.
Good old Palps.
You have done good.
I don't want to spoil anything, but it's so well choreographed.
Yeah,
it's so well.
But it's also, you can't really spoil it. What does Darth Maul do? He mauls.
Yeah, exactly.
So there you go.
But it's extremely well choreographed. It's about 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
Short film, but really well choreographed.
Yeah.
And also,
really well
it's
acted.
really tuned well into like episode 1's Darth Maul.
Yeah, exactly.
The facial expressions, fight style. It's
It's
so
all
in that
very like tailored to that,
Yeah.
and like I did love the supporting cast of the Jedi's, and
Well, some of them are quite.
well, some of them go out like absolute chumps, but but
Also, Scorpion mask.
I know, I saw that.
Really?
I thought that as well.
I quite like that.
This is what my Jedi would look like.
Yeah.
But no, I mean,
Darth Maul, get over here.
the actual characterization of Darth Maul is fantastic, and
Yeah.
there's more emotion and character conveyed by Darth Maul. He doesn't say anything in the entire film, but there's more character and emotion conveyed than the entire of Anakin in episode 1.
And definitely more than him than actual Darth Maul in episode 1.
Yeah,
Well, because when he had like 2 minutes screen time with the face, you know.
That line that he delivered.
the dubbed line.
Dubbed line,
Peter
yeah.
Serafinowicz.
But yeah, I mean, go check it out. We'll we'll put a link in the description.
Yeah, drop it.
Pretty rad.
But just search for Darth Maul Apprentice. It's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
So moving on, we got two. I was going to say 2 great trailers. We got 2 trailers for significant films coming out this year. Which one do we want to talk about first?
Civil War.
Civil War.
Let's talk about Civil War.
So we got
We'll end on a bummer.
Captain America: Civil War, a new trailer.
Yeah.
Not a huge amount different from what we've seen before. It's
But one significant detail.
we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Ant-Man on the arrow.
that was brilliant. But yeah, I mean, it's not done the thing that a lot of trailers do and spoiled half the film.
We didn't get another act.
Yeah,
with it, so.
it's expanded. It's just taken all the things we've seen before and expanded on it a bit more.
Yeah.
But also given a lot of context to. I mean, fans of the comics, I'm sure, know the Civil War in the comics, why that all came around.
Yeah.
Slightly different, slightly tweaked in this, and the way it's coming along, you can see that it's been building for so long in all the Marvel films, which is great. So you get a bit more background on that. You've got Thaddeus Ross coming back in.
It's great.
Yeah.
He's so good.
That Tash do.
Yeah.
Looking at all that, and then just kind of building on the conflict a bit more around. It's all centered around Bucky and what's going on there, and just more action.
Yeah.
Then the biggest reveal came the last sort of 5 seconds and made me squeal like a little girl.
Not new.
Dog stuff.
We got to see Spider-Man. We got to see the Russo brothers version of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Flying
Well,
in.
you're saying that. The Sony
Super
and
60s.
Marvel approved version of Spider-Man.
Yeah, but still, it's their character. I mean, they've shaped him in the script. They fought for him a lot to get him into it. And
Really? I thought I remember them being not sounding too keen on it originally.
no, they were really keen. Well, one of them was.
Yeah,
definitely.
because he did say in a statement, like, what would it mean if Spider-Man got on? And he went, a lot more work.
Yeah, because already wrote everything around Black Panther.
pretty much.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, myself included, were just thinking it was just going to be sort of nodded to, and he was going to show up in like a post-credit thing. That would be it, setting it up into the Marvel universe. But clearly, from the trailer, he's
going to be
a pivotal part in. I don't know if it's the final act, but like he comes into it a lot sooner than expected. He's a lot more realized, and there's going to be a lot more to him.
Which is ace.
And
which is really good.
A good talking point. What do you think of the costume?
Yeah, there's a lot of controversy surrounding the costume.
I like it.
I personally love it. I mean, it's a callback to the classic
1960s.
the 60s, but to the Steve Ditko,
60s?
Steve Ditko style.
Yeah.
There's a lot of character to like the mask.
And it'll evolve as well over films.
Yeah, it will.
Thing as well.
I mean, they've added their extra little things to make it different. They've got
bit
the
more kind of modern
little sort of black
the black
bits.
stripes on it, and
almost kind of reminds me of the Miles Morales sort of one with black included in the costume.
The logo's different now as well.
Yeah.
It's,
We've got the fat spider on the back.
So good.
The logo's different. It's a lot sort of stubbier. But it's more classic. It's
a
more
nice amalgamation of like the 60s and the 90s.
Yeah. And you can also, I can see why they're doing this because, I mean, I've only seen this briefly, but my personal favorite of the cinematic costumes, Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I agree.
Yeah,
like that's the best one.
That's just as good as you can get, especially with the build, I suppose, of
and the big eyes of the Ultimate Spider-Man or the old Todd McFarlane
style, and Mark Bagley as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Straying away from John Romita stuff, but. No, so I can see what they're trying to do. They want to separate it from that because it's your third reboot of the character. But they want to sort of separate as much as they can from the other iterations, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
So
and it's got tech.
Yeah, it's got a bit of tech, little whirring eyes. He's got web shooters. You can see the web shooters. He's got what looks like web cartridges on his belt.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of nice touches to it.
Yeah.
A lot of people hate it. But I love
it. One concern is if it looks a little bit too plasticky, but we'll just see how it looks in film and context.
It's Mark said for trailer CG.
I did see this. This meme that like it showed the picture of Spider-Man and they had like everyone's like it's like why is it like this? Why is it like that? Blah 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 blah. Why is it CG? And then the bottom is like he's been on the screen for like 2 seconds. Wait for the film.
Yeah, like it's a trailer cut. I mean, even though the film share is only 2 months away. This trailer could have been done 6 months ago.
Yeah,
like it's not. It might not be the finished version of him. It's just the way the CG works. It's not CG. Like
you can see there's fabric and all that.
There's a screenshot that came along with this as well, which is a lot more detailed. You can see it's fabric. Obviously when there's CG tied into it.
Obviously.
But it's not CG costume.
And also his web does look good. I was like, and just when he's holding the shield, it's like,
he just comes in with Cap's shield. It's just just amazing.
You'll make a great Justice League member.
That was a really well cut trailer.
I did actually get quite excited at the end. I was watching the trailer and I was like, I'm already pumped for this film. So I was like, this is more of what I've seen.
I'm glad a lot of the initial announcement things didn't show you it in the this is the video screenshot. Like from the first day or two.
And there's also as well just like Tony Stark. Just blurting it out,
Underoos.
I'm running out of patience now. Here we go. Spider-Man.
And also the Underoos reference as well. Underwear. He's wearing his tights. It's great.
But also that was another interesting thing. Well, we can ask Gary because I'm not sure if Gary knows. Is like how much folk do you think died? Or how many casualties do you think there was in the Battle of New York in Avengers?
Ooh, in Avengers 1?
In Avengers,
When
just throw out a guess.
We had the alien invasion.
Massive Chitauri invasion.
10,000?
72. Or 77 or
77,000.
No, 72 people.
72 people?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So in the trailer at the start when Ross is going over the events leading up to it, so you've got the invasion of New York, the destruction of the Triskelion in Winter Soldier, and then Sokovia. It's also got a number for the cost, so the financial cost, and then the casualties. Apparently it's like say 77 in New York,
and then it's like
22 or something for the Triskelion, and then Sokovia being taken out of the sky with full of Ultron's robots. 177. Like it's not as grand as, especially when you're comparing that to the Man of Steel. Like an entire civilization wiped out. But it's not a big deal. I mean, they're obviously not focusing on it. It's just a number on a screen.
It's just a weird choice to make.
It doesn't quite seem right.
It's sort of, they want to make it about heavy accountability, but then also it might be like Disney as well. You can't kill too many people. This is for children.
Okay, so
that was expensive. Very expensive.
Sokovia was like $4 billion or something.
Tony, that's more than I make in a month.
So that was a great trailer. But then before that, we had 2 trailers, I suppose, so we can talk briefly about them both. But we had trailers for Ghostbusters.
God bless you, Sony.
Trailer of the year.
Initial thoughts, Gary.
Initial thoughts. When it first came on, and they had the piano theme version of the.
It's like this hasn't been done a million times before.
It hasn't been done a million times before. But I like the opening text. Like I thought it was quite cool.
It's wrong though. Four scientists.
3 scientists.
But I did like that, and then like I knew team would take the call. I thought that was quite a good opening, and then like I've got nothing really against the film, but the trailer did nothing for me. At all.
It's
I want to go into this film and I want to come out of it and go, that was badass.
I'm going to agree. I'm not
like,
going to damn the film because of the trailer.
Yeah, I want to go in and I want to be impressed by this film, and I want to come out and go, that was really,
or if it is its own thing, it's its own thing in a way that
Yeah.
works.
Yeah, but nothing in the trailers has shown me anything that I kind of want just yet, and it's so who've we got? We've got
Melissa McCarthy,
Kate
McKinnon, Leslie Jones.
Leslie Jones.
So the two Saturday, Melissa McCarthy.
Well, they're all Saturday.
They're all Saturday night.
Yeah. So Melissa McCarthy and the blonde
Kate McKinnon. Blonde one.
Yeah, like they're playing themselves. I feel, and like it's characters that we've seen them play before. Other than bringing something new, like the girl with the tech blonde hair.
Kate McKinnon.
Yeah, she seems to be like going to be the most interesting out of all of them.
Yeah.
But again, she's quite a caricature sort of character as well.
Yeah. Because she looks like straight, like, like a comics or an Egon character.
Yeah,
it's quite cool.
Yeah, I do like Egon.
You say cool, I don't say cool.
Yeah.
So,
Mark, share your opinions.
Yeah, but like I said, nothing against the whole idea behind this film. Like I think it could be really good. It's just this first trailer has done nothing to back that up.
So I have huge issues with these trailers. My issue, it's really difficult to talk about what I think is wrong with this without coming across as sexist.
Yeah.
I don't want it to sound like that. I've nothing against it being a female cast. I think that's a great idea.
It's a shame because like everyone has to say this disclaimer.
I know. It's the way it is with
it is, but it is the kind of like it is that kind of sort of taboo subject that you take on when you do these sorts of films, and like when you are talking about these sorts of films as well.
It's not so much a taboo subject, it's more the fact that it's changing what's come before, which is fine, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's the way it's perceived. It's as soon as you have an issue with it, like you don't have an issue with the content of the film, you have an issue because it's got women in it. It's just the way that everything's twisted. But that's not my point. I mean, I've nothing against it being women or that. My problem is it's a Paul Feig film. My issue with it is the way they're treating the lore, like treating the idea of Ghostbusters. And essentially all it's coming down to is it's bridesmaids with proton packs. I mean, there's too much slapstick. There's none of the humor style coming through at all.
It's tonally that you're saying there's an issue.
It's tonally, but it's also cinematically as well. I mean, the way the ghosts are represented is just it's too
Like you said, slapstick.
Cartoony. Yes, it's too.
It's animated over the top in a way that's
jokey.
not very dry.
Yeah. And then the way, like with the style of humor and the connected to the possessions and things like that, it just doesn't look.
Yeah.
It's not Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
So my main issue is not with the way the film's going to be, but with the way that they're taking this license and dragging it through the mud, essentially, because Paul Feig's got such a pull. Over there. I mean, he's like, oh, I want to do this,
and it's just all women.
It's like I want to do.
It's interesting, like hearing like Max Landis like talk about it. Now, it's a pretty good thing with him and was it Gamer Greggy and the kind of funny thing. Because he was like going to do. He was in the final things of writing a script.
Well, he's been working on. He's been working on his sort of essentially what amounts to a fan script, I suppose, for a long time. For Ghostbusters 3, taking it forward. Lots of interesting ideas, and that he's published his notes because obviously it's never going to happen. But he was even picked to write the script for it. But then the problem is Paul Feig came along and said, I want to use Kristen Wiig and Melissa McCarthy and all this, and I want to do a female-led Ghostbusters, and it'll be great. It'll be everything from the 80s, but bridesmaids, and yay.
I have nothing against them doing the roles, to be honest. I really think that if the script was right, they'd be fine in it.
They would. But
and I like little details.
It's not right. That's
I like little details. Like people who are complaining about the Ecto whatever it is now 2.
Ecto 1. It's Ecto 1 again.
People who have an issue with that and say it's not the same. It's like, of course it's not the same.
Oh no,
it doesn't matter.
I've got a problem with Ecto 1.
I've got no issues with things like that.
That's what I mean. Those details are good, but it's just a shame that it hasn't pulled together to make, because like you said, the way the script is written, it just doesn't make any of that work.
Yeah.
It does
It's
it
just
in
the
this
style of it.
It's because again, it's totally gone for something completely different, but not in a way that works. If it was its own standalone film and it wasn't a Ghostbusters thing,
That's
fine.
what I said. Yeah.
But then as soon
thing.
as they're doing it, because of this, like you said, tonally, it just feels
Off.
out of place.
Yeah.
Like, it just feels.
And it's also because like the trailer itself is so deceptive. Like from that like first 30 seconds, you think it's a sequel. You think it's in this universe. It's all in a thing, and that's like no, it's a complete remake.
I know.
It's not even a reboot. It's a remake.
Yeah.
It's the same library stuff.
Yeah, but it's also featuring the original cast, apart from of course Harold Ramis. But I mean,
it's also attributed to him as well.
Yeah. But I don't know. Again, like you said, I have no problems with these people playing the roles. I mean, I thought Spy was fantastic. I mean, I don't particularly like Melissa McCarthy's style of humor necessarily. And I don't like Paul Feig films that much. But Spy was great. Bridesmaids was all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have an issue with the cast or the idea of it. It's just it's a Paul Feig film, and that's not a Ghostbusters film.
Yeah. Because like a perfect idea, especially when they're thinking of making this a new universe as well or a new franchise, and it's like a perfect way to do it is like you just reboot like Extreme Ghostbusters style. Yeah, you've got a great mix of characters there.
Yeah,
I mean, like it's so just off key for me. I mean, it's taking, for instance, like taking Star Wars and doing a romantic comedy.
Yeah,
and then you've got.
I would watch that. That sounds amazing.
So you've got Darth Vader in it, but he's a parody of Darth Vader.
Yeah,
it's all a joke.
Yeah,
but it's supposed to be serious. I mean, like that's what it is to me. I mean,
yeah. And it's also when folk like criticize like folk being against like female roles in these films, but you've had Force Awakens, you've had Mad Max Fury Road, and you can do well with it.
But also the script hasn't done itself any favors either. I mean, with you've got the 3 white women scientists and then the black street knowledgeable woman. Like it's shooting itself in the foot in so many ways.
It's taking its own cake and eating it.
And it's
nothing against that sort of roles happening, but when it's something that's supposed to be like so aware of
and its own diversity.
Fighting.
But
we'll still see it and still review it.
No, I'm still going to watch the film.
I'm sure it'll be a fine film. I just need to go in and think this isn't Ghostbusters. This is
Paul Feig's.
This is spiritual attack.
Busting ghosts.
Spiritual attack film.
No, it's Paul Feig presents Ghostbusters. Paul Feig presents.
But yeah, we'll see how this goes. Plus, I mean, the first trailer has basically revealed the idea of it as well. I mean, there's the story's been revealed already. It's going that route.
Yeah.
And this is just the first trailer. They did correct it with the international trailer.
Yeah. 4 Friends Save New York.
4 Heroes.
4 Friends.
Was it 4 Friends?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So instead of 4 Scientists, it's 4 Friends.
Yeah.
Fair enough. The second trailer was better cut, and there was a bit more.
But
still
it showed you.
It still doesn't address the fact that the film is tonally so different.
It's not Ghostbusters.
It highlighted even more like script things. You're like, no.
So that's the end of the rather long news section, but a lot of interesting things to talk about.
News.
A couple of weeks ago, briefly touching this because we haven't spoken about it yet. Oscars. What did everyone think of the Oscars?
Ex Machina.
Right there, I'm right there with you.
Ex Machina, well done.
To be honest, for the first time in many years, the Oscars went pretty much exactly as I thought they would.
Or you wanted them to?
Not necessarily.
Really?
Well, I thought Spotlight would win Best Film. I thought it was most deserving, but I still think it should have been Mad Max. I mean,
come on.
No, seriously.
Yeah, no. I'm just like like big explosions.
But I mean, things like Leo and Brie Larson picking up the best lead roles.
Very happy with Brie Larson.
That was a given. I mean, just there was lots of great performances again this year, but those are the standouts.
There's the whole thing with Leo finally getting his Oscar and
the greatest social injustice of our time.
Yeah, but it's like some people are saying like it's like it was basically a given. Like he had to have got it. Like he deserved Oscars for doing better roles, but he didn't get them.
I actually don't. I think he faced stiff competition the other years.
I honestly think every time that he's not gotten his Oscar, it's because there was better performance. It's as simple as that.
Of the game.
There's no favoritism in this. And the same this year, he won because he was the best actor this year.
And he had to put a lot into filming this.
I mean, there's a lot of people that have an issue with that. That it's more sort of method
Physical-
acting, physical acting,
yeah.
throwing himself into these actual things. So it's not really acting.
You can give credit either way when you really think about it.
Yeah.
It just depends.
But to me, I mean, it was a very powerful performance, and yeah, do you not think?
Well, I don't know. It's just like I just didn't like emotionally connect with him. But
Oh, really?
yeah, all the it was just like
Fair
dead
enough.
son and stuff. I was like,
Who cares?
but good old revenge.
Revenge.
Secret out of Revenge.
Then for supporting actor, that was not so much a surprise. I mean, Mark Rylance picked up for Bridge of Spies, definitely deserved. I mean,
Because everyone was saying like Slice Stallone to Pippet, but
yeah, I mean, I can't speak for that because I haven't seen every film there was a nomination for.
I thought you were about to say like see every film that Slice Stallone has done.
No,
That's how you do it.
I mean, both for Alicia Vikander as well, for Danish Girl.
Yeah,
I hadn't seen every film that was picked
Nominated
for
and
best,
stuff,
nominated for
yeah.
best supporting, so I can't say honestly she deserved it, but she did deserve it.
yeah.
Best animated film, Inside Out, no questions there.
Yeah.
It's a Pixar film, it's going to win best animation.
Yeah.
It's just the way of things. And then, of course, Mad Max picked up pretty much all
the other awards.
all the technical awards.
It was
there were,
good. It was good.
Which I said a few weeks ago, is there's no way it's not going to.
Yeah.
Like,
It's also that was a funny point folk were saying. It's like if it could win all these awards, that makes it the best picture. Why doesn't it win the best picture?
Exactly, but you can say
And
the same
everything but name.
The same thing with The Revenant. I mean, if it picks up best cinematography and best direction, how can you have the best looking, best directed film that isn't the best film?
But again, it's skewed.
Story.
It's the same way you said with the Golden Globes, them making categories for specific things and putting things into there. It's a way of everyone getting something, so that they don't have to pick a loser.
Yeah,
Sports Day.
Yeah.
but I think personally, I think Mad Max was the best film. But I can see why Spotlight won, because it had so many of these different things coming together.
And it really worked as a
Yeah,
whole,
I mean, it had the cast, the subject matter, the way the direction was handled. There's nothing flashy about it. There's nothing.
It had the weight of a typical Oscar sort of film.
Yeah, and it is. But the thing is, it wasn't Oscar baity as a lot of times these films are. There's Mark Ruffalo's grandstanding point, which is Oscar baity, but the whole film is just so true to itself, which is I think why they picked it up.
Yeah.
It's just an honest film.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a testament to what films can be, especially the way they approach the subject matter.
Yeah.
Mad Max is just an insanely entertaining,
Balls to the wall.
Very
Action
hands-on
film.
made as well.
Yeah.
it's a proper action film that we haven't seen in so long.
Yeah.
But then, of course, my personal favorite award, and I think ours as well, Best Visual Effects, picked up by Ex Machina.
Yeah.
Which is great because of the budget as well.
Yeah.
Budget of that film being so low.
Lowest budget film in that category. I mean, like pipped out things like Star Wars, which I personally think is not great visually.
So when we've seen the little show reel like for the BAFTAs, all it was copy and paste.
Yeah.
But that's the thing as well. It's the fact that they achieved they did it so effectively and did it on such a low budget. Same way that everyone made that argument about Beck winning best album of the year at the Grammys, but it's because he did it
all by himself.
Pretty much. So little, even though it may not be the best.
It represents that body of work.
It represents that's how it was. It represents the production.
Yeah.
It represents the process, and that is the same with this. It's,
With Ex Machina,
And I saw an
You just
interview
look
with
at Ava
Garland.
and you're like, whoa.
I saw an interview with Garland before,
Yeah.
and he was saying as well. He said, I can't have stars in this film. I have to have actors.
Yeah.
I can't have. He said, I'm not going to be able to pay for the biggest effects from this company that I know will, they'll put all of this money into it. I have to go to people I know that can produce and know when and how to use the minimal amount of what they can do to of what's needed to make it work effectively. He picked everything so well, and that did the job. Like that's exactly what it needed, and it worked well. Like we've seen it, and the way it was executed is excellent.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It doesn't have this huge scope to it, but it's pared down. It has everything it needs and works.
Yeah, it was definitely one of my favorite films of last year.
Yeah. I also had Oscar Isaac dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Dancing. Yeah.
Man's a chameleon.
So yeah, I mean, there's obviously other things which were givens, like Ennio Morricone picking up best original score.
Yeah.
Big Short got best adapted screenplay. Spotlight best original screenplay. And then Amy picked up Best Documentary, which is actually really good. I watched it actually after it won because I completely forgot about it. But that was.
Because I'm trying to remember, there's been a couple of AB documentaries. I think there's.
No, I think that maybe like short documentaries.
Yeah,
but
I think this is
the first feature one.
Yeah.
But it's been slated by her family and mainly her father, saying it's because it's taken a very.
Is it taking liberties? Or?
Not liberties. It takes a very aggressive view to her substance abuse and things like that.
Okay, yeah.
It obviously I didn't know her.
They would rather focus on the music rather than the problems.
Rather than her. But so I think her father's producing or working to do another documentary that's a bit more
tilted towards,
for lack of a better phrase, family friendly. A lot more
focuses on the subject, the aspect of the subject that they would rather it was focused.
Focus more on the music and her family life, and rather than
the drama surrounding.
Essentially what motivated her. I mean, it's felt the same as Diary of Heck, the Kurt Cobain. That was very, very focused. Disturbing. Focusing on things, a lot of things that,
like his mental state.
Really a lot of things that you've never seen before. I mean, there's been a couple of good Kurt Cobain and Nirvana documentaries.
Who produced that one? Was that his daughter that was the hand in producing that one? There's one that his daughter had a hand in. But it's that's the thing that they know that it's getting an audience through drama though. It's the Hollywood idea in a way. You put in it's almost going for not soap opera, but it's going for the dramatic aspect of something rather than telling the key subject. Which it gets people interested, but like you said, it almost subtracts from some of the key points that they could kind of get at. Like you said, the music and things like that.
No, but it does focus on the music. I'm not saying it strays away from that, but
not as much as they would have wanted.
Because again, it's his daughter. It's her legacy, as you said. He wanted it to focus more on the music itself as opposed to essentially what motivated the music.
Lifestyle around it.
But it's a good documentary. It's definitely worth a watch. That's a very brief overview of the Oscars. I mean, it was exciting, but it's also not that exciting because it's exactly what I thought it was going to be, which is quite nice.
There was no twist in the tale.
The only twist was Ex Machina because
that's a surprise.
That's a good twist.
Yeah, it's a good twist.
It's a very pleasant surprise.
So now we'll move on to the big review.
Big review.
Yeah, I've been very busy with work and other things recently, so I haven't actually seen the film for once.
But to be honest, there's not really much. This is quite a good one that we can discuss because it's not.
It's
the
not
way
heavy.
we can talk about this, it's not about spoilers or anything like that. There is one
there
kind
is
of
one,
spoiler, but we'll avoid
you.
that.
Okay, cool.
But it's a very it's a Coen Brothers film.
Yeah.
What is the film, Craig?
Hail Caesar.
Hail Caesar.
Hail, comma Caesar. But it is very much a Coen Brothers film, which is what I should say before we start, because I went to see it. There were three of us that went to see it. Irv saw it separately on his own. Loner. And
I would have went with you.
I was the only one that actually liked it of the group I went with, but I did really like it, and you also said that you liked it.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is down to, if you've seen Coen Brothers films, do you like Coen Brothers films?
Yes.
This is not a straight forward narrative or a simple arc. It's a series.
It's a throwback into the normal Coen Brothers sort of thing, rather than like a No Country for Old Men, where like folk a bit, sort of thing.
But
is it like a Burn After Reading, or is it?
No, this is the thing. It does take part of that where it does jump around between characters a lot, even though it does aid the one narrative. Not as bad as Burn After Reading in that sort of sense of jumping around.
Yeah.
But it's because it's always essentially it's scene introducing. You see you see the scene following another character before the main character enters, and so it builds the scene or builds that aspect. But
to great effect for a lot of things.
Yeah, for a lot of things. But I felt that for a Coen Brothers film, this had more of an ending. I've always said I don't feel Coen Brothers do typical endings, and I don't like a lot of their endings because they just stop. This one does have that kind of let's look into the sunset. It literally has a look into the sunset ending, or look at the sunrise, whichever it is. But it does have a start and end, and when you really think about it, there is a proper arc to it. It's just you have to kind of understand that there is scene building before someone enters. Saying that, the thing that stood out most to me was the humor in this film.
Yeah.
It is funny in a way I haven't seen a film be funny in a while. It's kind of like when I saw What We Do in the Shadows, which is more of an all-out comedy.
God.
Yeah.
But it's a different type of humor. And it's more like, it's not afraid... Because what was it you said? It said it's not afraid to just keep scenes going.
Yeah. You know, you get this sort of thing and it just keeps on bouncing and bouncing and bouncing and bouncing and bouncing.
And it goes to the point where, like, why is it still going? But it's just funny. It just keeps going. There's a lot of just things happening in the background that are funny. There's a lot of awkward silences that are just ridiculous. But the actual craft in it as well. Like,
the craft in it is amazing because it's like basically like this. It's funny, there was like one of the reviewers who totally didn't get like the meaning of the film. Like someone had seen Hail Caesar and it's like, it's obvious that the Coen brothers hate movies and they hate the film industry, and it's like, no, they love this. You know, this is a golden love letter to the golden age or the post-war age of cinema and film.
It's set in the 50s, isn't it?
Yeah.
Every scene that is introduced that we've mentioned introduces a different style of film or a way a film can be made, like a style of film at the time, and it shows how they're done. So you have these big, impressive orchestral sort of things, or you have big like, scene building or whole dance number that you think, okay, nowadays that'd be so cut, but then they hold these long introductions to show how much work goes in to get these perfect because they can't edit or cut in the same way or do these things. So, for example, you could watch a 5-minute scene of a dance number, and then at the end they go, you put something down in the wrong place. Do it again. Like that's just the way it works, and it's a tribute to all the ways that how you get a tour through the whole studio system of how like films were produced, but
the production line, the editing and costumes and all that.
Exactly. But it also it does address the shallowness of parts. And it addresses the heart of how films were made and the heart that went into them, but it also addresses how flawed business. It also addresses how flawed and dark that can be when business comes into it. But it's all done in quite a comical way, but the story isn't particularly obvious at points until the end, because there are parts where you're just in the dark for no reason, but it's just funny because it makes awkward situations. The ensemble cast, again, even though some characters are in it for like, let's say Jonah Hill's role is like that. It's the equivalent of the trailer. But the ensemble cast is really good. Did anyone who particularly stood out for you?
Well, there's a couple of like little details. There's one thing that I really loved is like there's a little Highlander thing in it, because like you've got Clancy Brown as like one of like George Clooney's head centurions, and then as a director for like Channing Tatum's dance sequence, you have Christopher Lambert as like one of the directors. Like,
really?
There can only be one. So I love that. But basically, like everyone shines in this movie. Where we've seen movies like we've seen 999, and we're like, wasn't, it was a bit people were just spent. Where this, everyone has a great role and they really shine. Like Ralph Fiennes is Lawrence Lorenz. You've got Scarlett Johansson's character, and also what's the young cowboy?
The young guy. That's this. I think this is him.
Yeah.
But what's really funny in the film, I'm sure he's called Hobie. But on IMDb, he's called Toby. But it's Alden Ehrenreich, I think is his name. But he really stands out.
Really? He's amazing.
He's the standout comical performance in it. But they add a lot of substance to what you think is quite a stupid role in a way as it goes. But he's him and Ralph Fiennes and stuff there. It's amazing.
It's like it just shows you like it's just how they just take movie stars and then just try and slot them into everything. So you have this guy who's amazing at westerns, but he can hardly speak.
he can't act. That's the thing. He can't act, and they put him into a period drama and stuff like that. But then there's loads of ridiculous stuff. Like it's even there's a nameless guy who owns the studio, and he just says, "I want this person to be in this film," and then that's how it happens. And there's how the public perceives people and all this sort of stuff. So it is really just mental. So the way it's filmed is just brilliant. And it looks, they've added this kind of golden sheen to it all as well. It has that. It has almost the sepia sort of look to it at points, but the acting is all like the Tilda Swinton has a really funny little bit in it as well, and there's just it is just
like
a very
nice folk show up as well. Like you also got like Frances McDormand who shows up. That's also why you have to double take. It's like, is that Tilda Swinton? Is that Frances McDormand? That's pretty good.
As well as that, David Krumholtz was in it as a random background character, like the guy from 10 Things I Hate About You and The Mentalist and all these other things.
And also think I think Oscar Isaac is in it. Maybe.
Maybe.
It has Robert Picardo as well, playing a Jew. And that's literally what he's there.
Oh my god, there's
that
so many good scenes in it, yeah.
It's one of those films that when I've spoken to a couple of other people seen it, including obviously Irv, and when they bring up scenes, I forgot those scenes and how funny they were.
I have to see it again.
And it is funny, but again, the two people I was with, one person said, I was waiting an hour and a half for a film to start because he was like, it was just a series of events and he just didn't like that style of film. And I can understand that.
Fool.
Yeah.
But I can understand that. But I felt really bad
it's just because it was a really charming film, you know.
I felt really bad because one person said, I think I'm too stupid for this film because I just didn't particularly enjoy it. And I said, it's not that. It's just not your style of film. Yeah. Like it is. I don't think anyone should ever feel that way coming out of a film in a way that it's like.
Maybe if you felt that about Transformers, but not about a Coen film.
But she found the humor amazing. She said herself, it's like, I don't know, it wasn't, but the point,
what the through line is,
the point that was made was, I don't know why they're telling this story because it didn't seem one that it wasn't one that had a particular poignance to it. And I can understand that it is just kind of an event and showing what it was like. But there is no real, you're not going to come away from this film and think, my God, society. Like it is just, it's a love letter to filmmaking of the time.
That's fantastic. It's just, and especially when you're in like essentially sexception, you know, you've got,
it undermines a very serious issue of the time as well, or like a very serious point in time. And I just remember thinking afterwards, it's like, it just made it into a joke, but I don't care. But no, have you got?
And also like the stand-up sequences. What would you say were your stand-up sequences?
There's loads of little ones. I still think that Toby/Hobie was great in his role. There are little dialogue exchanges that are very good. The religious conversation was great. We haven't mentioned Clooney.
Because George Clooney's in this film.
And George Clooney is very good. Works very well with the type of humor, and he is very intentionally hammy. And it just works. He works really well in it, but I kind of didn't feel like he was even though he was a main focus, he didn't really stick. As he wasn't a main sort of holding point for me.
And it's sort of nice because that's why he says like he does like loads of big budget films just so he can do stuff like this.
Exactly. You know? And then
unlike Robert De Niro, who does big budget films to do really terrible films.
But Josh Brolin as your through line through it is excellent. He's just kind of this stern guy though. In all honesty,
because essentially that's what it is. You just follow like the studio fixer, and you have to like keep everyone in the car. You know,
audio wise, how did you feel about it? Like as far as the sort of musical.
I didn't notice any. I did love like the sort of the throwback cues, like the Hail Caesar things and all this, and
the opening credits not being existent.
But then you sort of get it later on, and you're like, whoa,
because it's you get the start of the film has it has them watching not a test screening, but a demo reel of Hail Caesar, and it says Hail Caesar, and then says credits to follow, and so it gives
it's phenomenal.
So it's him,
so good.
So it's him watching the film, or watching the test of the film. So you get the title, but then there's no credits ready.
Awesome,
it's fantastic. And I'm on that editing, the humor and editing. You know, it's like you're watching this thing, and it's like sequence to be inserted.
It's a film that's fun to dissect, but it's also it's got some funny moments. Like it's a comedy. In all honesty, it is a comedy, but it's just a different type of humor from what you're kind of used to now. But how would you rate it on the 3 scale? First of all, explain the 3 film scale. If
we have underwhelmed, whelmed, and overwhelmed, and to be boring, overwhelmed.
I'm gonna say at first I was whelmed. But in hindsight, I'm gonna say overwhelmed. But it's one of those ones that didn't really hit me at the time. Because again, though, I'd seen it with people that didn't particularly enjoy it, and that does kind of change how you feel.
Jars your view a bit.
Also, quickly, do you want to share what you thought of 999? Now that you guys have seen 999.
Now we've seen 999, we can honestly and truly say
underwhelmed
that it confines to be very very underwhelmed.
Okay, so now that means that with Tom's review it is now an average of whelmed.
I'd say whelmed.
It's just with that cast, that director, you feel it could be something so much better. And you're sort of
it was like I said, from what I'd heard, it was all style, little substance. There's a few standout sequences, some really great bits in it
to save the film.
But overall, like everything you wanted to happen kind of happened, but not in a really that kind of way. It was completely unsatisfying for me. That was my main issue with it.
And so many folk were just like they're gone.
Yeah.
And nothing ever
Yeah,
again.
it was a film with potential that just didn't realize
Yeah,
it.
and like the characters that were established were so interesting, but they never did anything with them. And it's focused like around this heist, you think, but this heist takes place in the first 5 minutes, and then it's a lot of sort of character development, which is important, of course, in a film.
Yeah,
but there's
no climax to it.
Yeah, it doesn't really have.
It just kind of drowns in the content.
Yeah, it doesn't really have a reason that it's doing all this. There is some great performances. I've realised that I actually really like Anthony Mackie as an actor.
Yeah,
I just
great.
don't like him as the Falcon.
I love Anthony Mackie as the Falcon.
I really don't. I just thought I didn't like Anthony Mackie, but I think he's a really, really good actor.
Yeah.
He's a standout in this, as well as Casey Affleck. Both of them.
Yeah, he's really great.
Really, really stand out. The rest of the cast is underused, especially Woody Harrelson.
I know. Oh,
so it's a lot of wasted potential. As well.
Yeah, and Kate Winslet as well is sort of like, and then Gal Gadot was only in it for like what, 30
it's
seconds.
It's a film hoping to cash in on the names.
Exactly.
Really.
Kate
you
Winslet,
see that and you're like, wow, and then you're just like,
But no one knew it came out.
Yeah,
the amount of people that went to see it because it was part of an unlimited screening or something along those lines.
And also, that's another thing. I'm glad Hail Caesar hasn't flopped.
That's good.
It's made double its budget. It's like,
it's good. Yeah, but that's a positive note to end after that sad one.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Thank you for
see it. You'll love it.
I will. I'll need to go
hope
see
you love
it.
it.
Well, I've got some time coming up, so I'll go catch that, and then we've got
Cloverfield.
10 Cloverfield Lane next week.
Yep, and we'll hopefully be able to ask you a Hail Caesar next week. But until
and
that,
also
we'll also
maybe
do
London has fallen.
Wait and see.
Let's just not even talk about that. If we pretend it doesn't exist, it'll go away.
Shut up, Butler.
Okay. All right, so we'll say ta-ta for now. Thank you for joining us, Gary.
No worries. Sorry for all my coughing and spluttering, but
You're actually dying through the process of the podcast.
Slowly killing you.
Turns out he's allergic to whatever's on the mic heads. All right, so ta-ta, bye-bye.
See you.
Ciao.